Hey, welcome back to Game Hydro. Today we're playing a game called Super Flappy Golf, which is the third game that is available in the Flappy Golf series, which, of course, spun off of not spun off of, but was inspired by the OG Flappy Bird. So we're going to go over some tips and tricks for this game, some other interesting stuff. Now, a lot of birds that can be acquired in this game. You got different rarities. Obviously, our rarest one is the toaster bird over here, Gaia, but you have this strange-looking green rhino bird, this semi-normal looking thing, something that looks like a cross between a bat and a bullet bill, and the most normal-looking one, which is your starting bird. Looking at the traits over here, you got different traits that you can collect. For example, you got the bird traits here. You got the wing traits here. Let's see. Why can I not get rid of the exclamation point? Who knows? You got the different traits here for the trail of the ball. You got the sound effects, and you got the color palette. Mustard! Sorry, couldn't resist. And every time you hatch a new birdie, it will have some sort of combination of all 5 of these. Now, each time you gain an experience level, you will unlock more of these, which means that you can then use them in the hatchery or acquire them in the hatchery. Of course, you can also spend some cash to hatch eggs and see what else you get. It costs more for rare and epic eggs than it does for common eggs. And it doesn't really necessarily mean anything, the rarity. That doesn't change the gameplay at all. It's basically just for cosmetics and collections. So we're going to spend 5,000 bucks, B-U-X, on one epic egg. Add into the hatchery. Let's go to the hatchery. Tap to open. Thankfully, it doesn't really take any time at all whatsoever. And as we stayed true to, the rarer the bird, the stranger it looks. This one is pretty strange, but maybe not quite as strange as the toaster. Let's equip it and see what the hell happens. And you can, if you need to make space in the hatchery, go to the list of birdies, and you can, no, not there. Hit the search whatever thing, and you will actually be able to release birds in exchange for more experience. Now, you can't necessarily do it straight from the hatchery, but you can do it from the hatching screen. So if you run out of room and you need to get rid of common birds, go ahead and just or you need to get rid of birds, then go ahead and get rid of the least rares or the ones that you find the ugliest. I'd probably get rid of Mocha. Mocha is kind of not the most visually pleasing, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, okay, so the exclamation mark signifies new traits over here. And here's some of the unlocked, some of the ones that are still locked. And over in missions, when you see a number, that means that you have something you can claim. Level up achievement, get some free bucks. Ghost hole, that's a keeper. And once again, the higher the experience level, the more stuff, the more, what was I going to say? The more different traits you have. Over here on the left side, you find the Game Center button. This is one of the few games today that seems to still use Game Center. And that uses Game Center to track lists of achievements. You can compare them with your friends and whatnot. Boy, Game Center looks a lot different than it did back when it seemed like every game was using it. All right, so single player mode, let's try it. There's tons of different stages. And you don't have to get gold stars on them in order to make it to the next stage. You can just get bronze stars or silver stars. You'll learn new techniques as you make it through different worlds, but they are available to you starting early on the game. So we'll show you some of the techniques, and we'll talk about ghost holes, where to find them. So let's pick stage 2 because that has a ghost hole. The first number that you see up there for flaps, that's how many you need for gold. Now, different techniques. Not only can you just normally flap, but if you hold the button in question, then you will you'll glide, which means move fast. Now, if you get in the air and then you press both of these buttons and hold them, you will dive bomb. And this one's my favorite easy high score trick, or low score as it were. Unfortunately, we got hit by an ad there, so let's unpause. We cut the ad out in post, of course. So my favorite technique is changing the direction of your glide without using any extra flaps. So in order to do that, say you're gliding to the right, then you hit the left button and then let go of the right button. If you let go of the button first, then you'll lose a flap. But if you let go of the button second, then you won't. Watch this. So we're going to go to the right, soar, left, right. There we go. No extra flaps used. Now, in some stages, what we're going to talk about here, you got ghost holes. In this case, the ghost hole's very easy. You just look for that little divot on the side of the wall right next to it. But on future stages, the ghost hole can be a little more challenging to find, but usually it will be fairly easy to find it if you know what to look for. So let's go to Caramel Cave level 8. Got a ghost hole in there. This one is slightly more challenging to get to. Now, when it comes to the ghost holes, you'll earn extra bucks. So even if you don't use a, even if you don't make an, or what was I going to say? Even if you have too many flaps to actually earn a star, you'll still earn bucks. So I don't really try to limit the flaps on these stages. This one, to get to the ghost hole, go to that little notch up there. There we go. Back to it, because that one's easy to jump out of by mistake. And there's a ghost hole. Obviously, the second time that you find the same ghost hole, it'll be in the same location, so you're not getting rewarded. But the first time we passed it, we got 250 extra bucks. Go back. Crystal Peak. We'll go to Crystal Peak 4 because there's a ghost hole here. And this brings me to some other stuff. Not before, but while your character's just sitting there, you can put both thumbs on the screen, zoom in and zoom out. You can use one thumb, drag it around, and look at the stage in order to plot out where to go next. You don't just have to do it right away. All right, so with this one, to get to the ghost hole, go to the right. See that notch on the left side of the regular hole? That is the ghost hole entrance. So make sure to get caught in these winds when applicable, because they'll send you a good distance without making you use any flaps. The less flaps you can use, the better. All right, we got that notch on the left side. There we go. So that is ghost hole number 3. So oh, look at that. We actually got a star going on the ghost hole without even really trying. So keep looking for ghost holes. If you see one on a level, then look for an area where you might be able to go in order to get there. For example, weird shaped notch on the side of the level. Now, for the ghost hole levels, don't focus on trying to get a gold star or anything like that. Just focus on exploration and finding it, because the ghost hole will give you quite a few coins, or bucks rather, even if you don't get a star on it anyways. And use the glide directional change in order to get farther, and in order to get easier gold stars and just easier stars in general if you need to. All right. What else can we talk about? All right, so in the shop area, there's some in-app purchases. For example, the drone purchase right there. Now, don't be fooled by how cool the drone looks. You don't have any different flying traits than you otherwise would. But there's all kinds of in-app purchases here. Don't be fooled by any kind of slick marketing and descriptions. The flapping mechanism will still be the same. I don't believe there's an ad-free mode here on its own. Maybe one of these packages has ad-free modes attached to it, maybe not. But, oh, here we go. Remove ads, $6. All right. If you can't afford that, you can always try playing the game with the data off, or with airplane mode turned on. See if that works. All right. Thank you for watching. This is Game Hydro. Please like and subscribe.